Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into a really powerful argument about the global AI race. We're going to talk about how China's strategy might not be to build a better AI, but a radically cheaper one, and what that could mean for the entire U.S. economy.
Okay, let's start with this quote from Scott Galloway, because it just gets right to the heart of it. It's this provocative idea that China is gearing up for a massive economic disruption, not by out-innovating American AI on quality, but by totally and completely undercutting it on price.
So that brings us to this central idea, the old Navy strategy. Yeah, it's a concept borrowed from retail, but believe me, it has huge implications for the future of artificial intelligence.
So what exactly is this strategy? Well, it's all about creating a product that's, good enough for most people, but at a price so ridiculously low, it becomes a no-brainer. It's not about being the absolute best. It's about being the best value by a mile.
And when you apply that to AI, the goal becomes crystal clear. Just flood the market with these open-weight models that are almost as good as the top American ones, but are so cheap to run they completely upend the entire market. This is a direct shot at the high-cost, premium model that companies like OpenAI are built on.
So why is this such a big threat to the United States right now? Well, it's because the American economy has placed this enormous, all-in bet on a very specific vision for AI. And that vision, it turns out, has some pretty serious vulnerabilities.
And check this out. This is where it gets kind of wild. We're talking about a staggering 40% of the entire U.S. stock market's value being tied up in just 10 AI-related companies. I mean, their sky-high valuations are basically a pillar of the economy. But if those valuations start to wobble, the ripple effects could be absolutely massive.
A huge part of this vulnerability comes from the American approach itself, which is just incredibly resource-intensive. For instance, OpenAI's plan for a massive new chip network. It's projected to eat up a mind-boggling 250 gigawatts of energy.
And if you're trying to wrap your head around that number, get this. We're talking about a single company's project potentially needing 1/4 of the entire nation's power grid. That highlights a massive dependency and a colossal cost base, which of course just swings the door wide open for a more efficient competitor.
All right, so how is China actually building this advantage? The evidence shows they aren't just talking about efficiency. They're actively making breakthroughs that are turning this efficiency gap into a real strategic weapon.
You can just see the trend here. The top 5 open-source AI models, they're all Chinese now. You've got companies like Alibaba and DeepSeek reporting these huge gains, cutting way down on expensive hardware and speeding up training. And kind of ironically, U.S. export controls seem to have just poured gasoline on the fire, forcing Chinese firms to innovate and figure out how to do more with less.
And this slide right here, this is the payoff. This shows you exactly what all that efficiency gets you in the real world. Just look at the cost to process 1 million tokens. That's a standard unit of data for AI. Where OpenAI's top model costs $10, its Chinese competitors are charging just over $1. They're basically delivering a comparable service for almost 90% less. It's a price war.
Now, this strategy might feel brand new in the world of AI, but really, it's one of the oldest and most successful playbooks in business history. Taking over a market through ruthless efficiency, that is a proven path to the top.
I mean, think about it. Henry Ford didn't invent the car, but his assembly line made it so anyone could afford one. IKEA didn't invent furniture, but its flat-pack design totally changed the game on logistics. And hey, more recently, SpaceX didn't invent rockets, but by making them reusable, they just slashed launch costs and now they dominate the market. The pattern is crystal clear. Innovating on cost is often way more disruptive than just innovating on quality.
So when you boil it all down, the race for AI supremacy isn't just about who has the better tech. It's really a fundamental clash between two completely different economic philosophies.
On one side, you've got the classic American strategy, which is all about pushing up perceived value. It's about building a premium brand, creating hype, and winning with that brand loyalty. Think Apple. But on the other side, you have the Chinese strategy, which is laser-focused on one thing, pushing down the cost through massive scale and efficiency. They win with price.
And that leaves us with the final critical, multi-trillion-dollar question. As these two titans collide in what might be the most important technological race of our lifetimes, which strategy is going to win? Will the premium brand of American AI be enough to hold off a tidal wave of cheap, efficient, and good enough alternatives? The answer to that could honestly reshape the entire global economy.